Yay. We are back with more commentary. Howling Banshees, Guardians, Termagants, Hormagants, Gaunts all around. And yet again, the Ravener Alpha seems to be the predominant hero these days. I feel we're going to see a lot of these Ravener tunnels for mobility again. With Termagant squad popping out and a second one coming right out. That, judging the same build as the Tyranid player last game, the Exarch in this game just straight up rushed across the field to try and, I guess, do some early harassment. In the meantime, the Guardian squad is doing their mission capturing, and the Banshees are doing their part. So there we are. These boys forced into retreat after 3 model losses. I mean, I guess that gives a little bit of the early game advantage to Steve Budd. As far as money goes, as you can see, they're split even on income. But that's interesting. What did he spend his requisition on? We should be seeing an upgrade or something. I'm not quite sure, but we did see his requisition drop there briefly, and some spore mines coming in. Those things are very obnoxious. Let me say. I don't know how well they are going to be used this game, but we will see. And yeah, there it is. That's where that requisition went to. The grenade upgrade for that Guardian squad, which could be moot if it dies, but no. That last Guardian, the last Airbender, saving his entire species. Ravener's down to 206. Both of the terms are here. And where are those spore mines, those annoying bastards? Just walking around here. Hormagants capturing back the victory point and taking another one here. The Banshees pushing forward in all for naught, getting downright obliterated by the general slop and poison that's coming out of the Termagants. And the Warp Fighter Exarch here caught in a place where he doesn't really want to be, and that serves as melee combat for you. As you can see, he's bleeding all sorts of poison. He is now slowed and running away like a good boy should. I mean, what can you do? 2 ranged squads, dropping his gens early. Tyranid already has a full gen farm. Just as we saw last game, the Tyranids are big fans of those early generators. And the spore mines here, one of them has already detonated. And the Warp Fighter blowing up even more of them. Let's see if we get to... Yep, there we go. Instant suppression. That's really the most annoying thing about them, is that it's a moving suppression. And in some of the bigger battles, you really won't notice them. But yeah, the Eldar now severely behind, losing 200 requisition on his generators, not to manage the power income disparity here between Mr. Full Gen Farm and Mr. I just lost my generators. But he's now rebuilding, so I guess that makes it better, combined with the fact that he controls that point. They should have more or less parity in that sense. Here we see the Banshees very slowed down by poison and such, having to run away. A grenade spike before the Guardians 2 pull a hasty retreat, killing 2 models with that grenade spike. Not too bad considering all it costs him is energy and some requisition, but it'll make itself useful throughout the game and really puts the Guardians in a very good place for a tier 1 squad. That's really exactly where you want to be. Some Ravener broods, presumably to close the distance on the Guardian squad, or for some ambushes. Raveners are nice in that they burrow and unburrow on top of your target, and basically knock them back and force them to engage in melee combat, which is, I guess, possibly useful. I'm not quite sure. Those shields also going to be a big factor in the range combat, going to give the Guardians a boost when fighting toe-to-toe against all of these Termagants. Down to 2 models and 20 hit points, and there we see the Raveners coming out from behind the shield, effectively countering that strategy by the Eldar player. In the meantime, Banshees pushing back these Hormagants that were on a capture mission. Power node up here. Full gen farms for both players, and this power node's going to be toggling back and forth the whole game. This one just has the node on it without any generators. And here we see a blue line for no apparent reason. Actually, we see the same one here. And a third one. What do you know? I'm confused now. I don't know what those blue lines on the minimap mean. But red doesn't have any, so haha, take that. A Shuriken weapons team. Presumably to win him the ranged wars. However, the fact is, the Raveners are very good against the Shuriken because, as I said, they have the knockback. Devourer, ranged weapons. Ooh, shiny. Going back and forth with that control point. Meanwhile, the rest of them... I mean, I don't know. Map control in this map is not really a decided factor here. Banshees are forced to retreat by the Ravener. Warp Spider are going to warp out of there, run away. In the meantime, these Raveners making short work of that Guardian squad with their ranged weapons. Very, very powerful as far as ranged weaponry goes. And these Guardians really don't stand a chance, shield or no shield. Raveners, from what I remember, are damn strong. In the meantime, going in early Tech 2 for Steve. In the meantime, a Warrior Brood coming out and getting an upgrade for it right away. The lower tier troops, this one is glitched, but this one doesn't have any upgrades. It's about to get its first upgrade. Yes, and here is that poison. Yay. And the Raveners just generally doing loads of damage and being annoying. The Eldar is probably going to hope to deal with the Warrior Brood using an Autarch. Actually, never mind. They've been transformed into an AoE suppression team. Causing suppression. Yay. And the Warp Spider kind of runs back from them. Raveners running away. Yay. Warp Spider not really going to be able to do much there, but he is going to be able to run away with his improved weapon range and damage. The node is destroyed, but the gen farm is still intact. The Shuriken here pushed back the Tyranids. I apologize, I missed that. In the meantime here, the AoE and the suppression is really going to help these guys out, but their support comes in too late and they're forced to retreat. Meantime, Ravener is pushing up, hoping to maybe get some kills on these Guardians who just nade spiked and are pulling back into a building. Yay. Oh, Shuriken caught out of place. Hit the X button, hit the X button. Or is he gonna try and make it to the building? Oh. Nope. Denied by the Ravener burrow. However, they see the Banshees are going to be a problem and decide to get out of dodge before things get bad. Yep. In the meantime, going Tech 2 for Kalzi. Kalzi? I don't know. We'll assume he hails from California. And he wants to get his California Z on, or shorten it to Kalzi. And here, as predicted, is that Tech 2 Autarch getting her Force Shield upgrade, which will allow her to be a lot more survivable, if that is proper English. I highly doubt it is. But basically, it lets her absorb damage at the cost of energy and turns her into an outright tank. Combined with her jump, she should be able to make short work out of any melee squads. The Ravener Alpha here being suppressed, but he doesn't care. He did his job in capturing the point. And as you might notice, last game around, Ed did a much better job using his numbers to capturing points, as opposed to how Kalzi here is doing, in terms of capturing points away from Steve. In fact, Steve has been able, I wouldn't say keep map control parity, but has been able to do pretty decently as far as map control, even being in control of it at some points. But most importantly, he keeps the critical points, so their incomes are about even. I wouldn't say exactly, but about even sounds about right. Loads of about there. And who got killed? Oh, the Exarch got downed. Sad face. These guys pulling back from the deployed Shuriken cannon. In the meantime, a little bit of fun-filled gen harassment is going on here. And the Autark, having used up her shield, is now getting the Executioner upgrade. Hooray! Oh, it's a good one. And yeah, I mean, I really don't know where the game will go from here. It seems like the Tyranids are very focused on their range damage. If you notice, they have the Raveners with the range upgrades. They have the Warrior with the ranged weapon. The Termagants are alive. So it's like a ranged Tyranid player versus a pretty standard, from what I understand, Eldar. You know, have the Banshees, the Autarks, the Shuriken team, just because it really does help in ranged engagements. If you can suppress your enemy, they fire a lot slower, and that can really save your bacon in times of need. This Ravener really going a little too far. I don't know if he's going to be able to capture the point, and no, he's not. Next question is, will he go down? Yes, first hero lost for Kalzi. Steve Bud's lost his hero multiple times by now. And, ooh, Autark very close to dying. That would also have been very embarrassing. In the meantime, we see Tech 3 coming out for Kalzi. Probably going for the Hive Lord, which is the end-all, be-all of the Tyranid armies. The Autark is back at base healing up. While we have a full-scale engagement here, the Eldar has no hopes of winning, so throwing the good old grenade and running away. Ooh, getting a good amount of model kills with that, actually. And very good positioning here of the heavy weapons team. It's been doing a fine job of suppressing and supporting. And yeah, map control currently is pretty solidly Tyranid, but he just got his ass kind of beat. He's got 3 squads that are in really bad health, and one that's just kind of damaged and healing up right now. In the meantime, Eldar are going around and, yep, just capturing points. Autark going in to engage the Warrior Brood. And that's a winning battle for her, but due to pathing and speed differences, she can't actually attack while they're... well, she kind of can, but you saw what was going on there. You know, the typical RTS awkward model movement. And instantly slowed down. Oh, that was painful. 2 model kills straight up off the bat. The Shuriken platform coming out, about to get Ravenered, and it's on the run. Good choice there. Second he saw those Raveners go down, he was ready with that X key. In fact, when I play, I actually keep my thumb on the spacebar and the X key. Just because you use the retreat command so often in this game. Or at least I do, because I'm a nub. What can I say? But really, the speed bonus and the damage immunity that it grants is very useful. Ravener still out of the battle, and Carnifex, interesting. I would have thought he would have gone for the pretty standard Swarm Roller, but apparently not. Can't really... Oh, there he comes. He's big, he's bad, and he's getting his Venom Cannon. Meantime, the Banshees here have been upgraded with their aspects and their leaders and such. And there we are. We now have the monstrous Carnifex. Not a lot of hit points, but it has a cannon now. It mutated one in. So over here in the meantime, we have the heavy weapons team yet again doing its job quite well. Not that it really matters. I mean, he doesn't control that point. He is slowly eking back the victory points, but I think it's too little too late. The Gen Harass here might do something, but come on, man. He already has a Carnifex out on the field. He's already Tech 3. What are you gonna do? Warp Spider Squad finally coming out. Oh, and here we have the big bad Londa. The Carnifex doing work, and these warp spiders getting annihilated. Oh, baby. Better run away with those. And you better run away right now. Run. Run for the hills, you fools. In the meantime, the Carnifex just chilling, you know, doing its thing. Firing its cannon, hitting things with its giant claws. And they don't have a response to that. I have to say, there's nothing that can kill a monstrous creature on the Eldar team. And the only reason he retains some map controls because the Tyranid stays as a blob rather than moving around the map and capturing at various points. The Warp Spider on his little capture mission. The Ravener finally being resurrected. Good to see you back, buddy. And losing his power and pretty much all of his generators here for the Eldar. And what have we here? The Autarch being upgraded with the fusion gun, replacing her executioner to try and deal with the Carnifex. But one anti-vehicle unit is not enough, especially when the Carnifex is this well supported. This is something that you see a lot in the lower tiered games, is that people will build their Tech 3 units and whatnot, and then just not support them with the rest of their army. And, you know, that never works out well. Never does. Despite the fact that they're big and awesome, they still need love. They need their little dudes supporting them there. Oh, and here we can get a close-up of his... Aw, man. Ran away, but he spouted a third arm when you got that upgrade, so congratulations. Mutation for the win. Plus, look at all these stinky bastards. They literally have a little cloud of stink around them. And yeah, I'm zooming in on the models. There's nothing really to show here. The Eldar is going Tech 3 just now, and still has nothing to deal with what the Tyranids have brought to the field. Yeah. Nothing at all. At most, he could hope to get a grenade off before he runs away. And no grenade, just gonna run away, period. Banshee's here. Can do some damage to this, but yet again, with support, that Carnifex is not going anywhere. And the Autarch being smartly engaged in melee combat by the Lictor, which is not even on the units overview because the Tyranids have so damn many units they can't even fit. But yeah, the Autarch is the only thing which can consistently damage this Carnifex. So he's going to engage in melee and prevent her from shooting the gun, drain her shields in literally 2 to 3 hits, and retreat because he's lost his support. So Kalzi's playing very well this game. By comparison, the Eldar is managing a surprisingly good job of holding on, using his Warp Spider Warp to try and get the last hit off on that Carnifex, but it's really the Autarch that matters. If he can keep that Autarch engaged, that Carnifex will be able to... Oh! And it goes down. Just as I was praising him on his great support and how together he keeps his forces, he loses his biggest investment in the game thus far. He has a good amount of requisition, but very little power, and he still has not built back his generator here. And in fact, it's not even his control point, and here he has no generators either. And probably going to lose that one right now.
Squad reinforcement complete.
Yeah, and he's saying he's sorry he lost that Carnifex. So now he's lacking on power. He's doing well with the requisition, and what's he building? A Lictor. Yay. Meantime, we have Banshees being attacked by the entire Tyranid army, and still holding up for a little while anyways. And that's why in the earlier videos I made the mistake of saying that they are sturdy, just because of shit like that. That is a lot of units attacking them, and you have to admit they held their ground decently well. Only lost 2 models, you know. Oh, and here comes the Ultra Uber ability. This is the Eldar's quote-unquote artillery. It's basically a circle that pulls units towards its center, and it managed to kill a squad, singular. That is the net effect there. Heavy weapon squad in the building, going to keep this control point firmly in Red's hands. And yes, the colors are actually correct in this game. I don't really know what to say. The warrior brood might actually be able to damage that heavy weapons team enough to force it out of the building. I'm not sure how much damage this does against building, but judging by its AoE, I would say it's going to do quite a bit. And as you can see, already at half health there. And the Guardian squad just not doing the damage that they need to save this weapons platform. And there we see it is very low on health and retreating, but so is the warrior brood. So, model for 2. I'm guessing that's actually a pretty even trade in terms of resource cost. I don't have the resource cost memorized, as I have weapon numbers memorized with World of Tanks, but still. And he's talking about something being bugged nowadays, so whatever. That's all him. And yes, the creeping Termagant Whisper. And the Warp Spider now has some armor. In the meantime, no war gear for the Ravener. And my prediction at the beginning of the game was incorrect. There has been no use of the tunnel for moving around on this map, despite it being one of the quote-unquote larger 2v2 maps, just simply by virtue of land area. Then again, maybe that's incorrect. I mean, you can play 2v2 on bigger maps. So yeah, I'm gonna rescind that comment. And there's the Banshees running away. In the meantime, we have a little engagement here. The Guardian squad caught completely out of position and cloaked. Yay. I'm guessing that's the Lictor that be responsible for that. As you can see, its energy is going back up now that people have come out of stealth. Yay for that. Jumping into the fray. Good leap ability. Tyranids really have 2 units with leap, one that actually jumps and the other one that gives you a little burrow pop-up, so that's nice for them. And the Autarch is back to the Executioner. No need to have an anti-vehicle ranged weapon when you can have a proper melee weapon. Goes down, however, 40 rage points for red. That's not what they're actually called, but I forget what they're called, so I call them rage points. Because, you know, you get them when you kill units and you make the other guy rage, being like, game's broken, imba, yay, and whatnot. Stealthy Lictor running around, about to run out of energy. And 1 energy and he leaps. Yay. Warp Spiders.
Now your training is put to the test.
And the Banshees suppressed. Yay. Warriors gonna be engaged by the Warp Spiders, killing off a model, forcing a retreat. And what have we coming in? A Fire Prism. Lol. Oh, he lost his Lictor. Ouch. And apparently he left with that. So there we have it, folks. Tyranids ahead for most of the game, but then kind of lost their momentum once they lost their monstrous creature. And according to the post-game overview, Steve Budd played all around better. However, for the first like 10 to 15 minutes of the game, I would never have guessed the outcome. Simply because Kalzi did such a good job of initially supporting his monster, then he lost it. So that's the end of that. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Common Cat, out.